guys.
Hey everyone, welcome to Quickscope Podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion Entertainment. Thanks for joining us today, and as always, we're your hosts, Eric, Serge, and we have a special guest on, VEA Eddie, the big boss, owner of Higher Passion Entertainment, is here with us today.
Man.
Just want to thank you for joining us, man. Like, it's really cool to have you on here for the first time. We've seen you on the other podcasts, and it's just really cool to see you on here because we know you have a passion for gaming. Both you put together both Serge and I because we played games with you, and just want to start off by hearing what kind of games you like to play. Right? What got you into gaming? Even what got you the idea of starting a gaming podcast? So I'll hand it off. What do you think?
Oh, well, first of all, I didn't know I was coming in with that introduction. Goddamn. But don't get it twisted, y'all. These guys are the stars, man. I just put it together. Ain't nothing big. But yeah, these guys run shit. They do everything right. So first, let me get that off first. And then second of all, man, it's good to be here with y'all, man. Yeah, I know I've been fucking meaning on getting on this one for a minute. I've been busy with the other ones and all that. But man, a lot of the games I love, probably growing up, had to start with like GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
Starfire,
always.
Fucking even like the little cheap games that no one really talks about. We could talk about like the South Park game, or even like the freaking old school Lion King and Aladdin game. You know, I grew up with a lot of different video games, man. So I've always had a passion for it. And me and Serge, man, we used to compete in Gears, and I'll never forget staying at his house till freaking 3 a.m. practicing with the link cables. I know a lot of kids don't know about the link cables, so we had these link cables throughout the house and get it figured out. And man, those are things I'll never forget. So like, yeah, it's crazy the way gaming has evolved. And like back then, we used to freaking hear like, "Oh, you ain't never gonna do anything with gaming. You're never gonna get money with gaming with people." And then like nowadays, it's like it's one of the number one companies, number one streaming platforms. It's like it's nuts, bro. So to see where gaming has came now and just where it used to be, like I said, I've always had a love for it. So to get you two together, and you two obviously have a crazy love for it. You maybe even more than me. You know what I mean? You guys love this shit. So I love that and I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I still play 2K. I still play Apex. Mortal Kombat will never fucking. I'll buy every single one. Final Fantasy is probably my favorite RPG of all time. Like, so I'm pretty versatile, man. I know a couple different games.
Nice. Like, it's really cool to hear that. I know you mentioned Gears. Gears is actually a really interesting one to talk about because we've been hearing back from like Microsoft, especially at the E3 event, right? Xbox came out and they're like all in with Halo. But man, I feel like Gears hasn't gotten any love lately, right? Like what do you guys feel about that? I know, Serge, you were a big Gears player too. Like
yeah, dude. Gears is that's where competitive gaming, I think, it grew so much. Gears was like the opening of competitive gaming. I feel like Halo too, but Gears had this like it was everyone's dogging each other. It was like competitive to the max. And Nick Merckx, yeah, dude. Like it was just, you see the Gears. Have you ever seen Gears tournaments, man? People talking shit all back and forth. That was where the shit talking like was real. Yeah. So, but they just Gears, man. They went on a bad route. I think early on they kind of figured out that they weren't gonna make much of the franchise. And I guess with Halo, it's just that Halo is Xbox, right? It's Microsoft. Halo is synonymous with Xbox, and Microsoft. So they're not gonna stop, I guess, on that front. But maybe we'll see something new with Gears soon. Hopefully, I don't know if they are. Maybe they switch it up, and maybe they. I don't know, man. Maybe make a battle royale. Go for it. At this point, what do you have to lose, right? I mean, people are over battle royales, but you never know. Maybe Gears can make something fun.
I think that's the route to go, bro. I think that is the route to go right now with Gears. Because I was even just talking about this with somebody. I was like, how dope would it be to just jump in and you got a gang of locusts coming out and you got to grab your guns and you got to hide. And what was one of the sickest things about Gears was that you can cover. You can blind fire, you can cover and shit. And that's what really took it to the next level. And imagine like just being able to do that in a war zone with your friends and all that. I think that'd be crazy. But I think one of the negatives about Gears, honestly, to be completely honest with you, is it's not really colorful. Like if you look at a lot of the games nowadays,
It's dark,
everything's
yeah.
colorful.
That's
Apex, fucking all these bright colors, these bright freaking the way the guns work and the way the bullets fly and all that. And that's appealing to a lot of people, you know. Gears is more dull, it's more dark, more horror, you know. So you have to really love like a certain type of shooter and how that works to get it. But yeah, Gears is the best, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I think especially when you're talking about a third-person shooter, like, I mean, the biggest third-person shooter now of all time is Fortnite. And yeah, you look at Fortnite, it's colorful, it's kid friendly and all that. And doing like a Gears of War, I think it has its audience definitely if they come out with a Gears of War.
More mature audience for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. If they came out with a battle royale for it, but I mean, to be fair, if they came out with a Halo battle royale, it would do better, just because it has a fan base already.
Sure.
Right? I think gameplay wise, I think especially us as gamers, we would probably go towards Gears more as a battleground type game, not battleground, battle royale type game, because of how technical it is, right? Of how immersive that would be for us as a gamer. But Halo is just more. It's easier to get a hold of and kind of figure out the gameplay real quick. It's a lot harder to be good at Gears than it is to be good at Halo.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that in Gears is probably the hardest shooter up until Fortnite. Yeah. Fortnite, the building aspect.
Yeah,
the level of capability you have to play is you have to be really good at building, and if you don't like building, you're not gonna play Fortnite. I guess that was kind of the same thing with Gears. If you didn't know how to wall bounce, which wall bounce it's tough, dude. Wall bouncing is tough. So if you're a good wall bouncer in Gears, you're gonna dominate. But it's tough to learn. It's a really tough mechanical game.
Yeah, I never figured it out. The wall bouncing, I never.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. So if you never figured it out, it's kind of the same thing with building in Fortnite. So I guess that's kind of the thing that the thing is Fortnite was colorful for kids and stuff like that. So Gears is more mature, so people aren't going to play it if they don't have to, I guess, or if they don't want to try.
Yeah, people are definitely more appealed to Halo because you could like mega jump and you could do all these things.
Hey, it's easy to jump in and play for sure.
Yeah, it's more like okay, I could do crazy shit. That's
Yeah, I think for Halo, I mean, we talked about it on the last episode, right? I think Serge, you said that Halo Infinite is going to be the make or break for Halo, for the franchise.
Yeah.
But Phil Spencer actually came out, and he's like CEO of Xbox. He's the head creator, and he came out and said, "Dude, this isn't gonna make or break us. Like Halo is a well-established franchise. Even if Halo Infinite sucks, we're gonna be doing great. 10 years into the future, we're still gonna be making Halo games." You believe it? Yeah.
I don't believe it. Well, not that I don't believe it. I just think that.
You think it's how successful it's gonna be, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I feel like people gave Halo so many tries, right? Call of Duty has still come out with decent games. Like they're probably the closest to Halo, I guess, in the sense of long-term games like that. And Halo just has not done anything good since Halo 3. I mean, so at this point, everyone's just like, if this game's not good, the next games we're not going to look forward to like this one, you know. I mean, that's just kind of how I feel.
I agree with you on that point because I think it's mostly the IP. It's like even when I played with Halo Wars, it's like I liked Halo Wars, but it was cool too because it was Halo. Yeah. It wasn't, you know. And I feel like so many IPs get different chances. So I agree with you on the aspect like this is the make or break for like the people that really want to play it that aren't just like gonna love anything that Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
So freaking, I think that if it does bad, they're probably still continue to make it. Like, who plays Ratchet and Clank still, man?
They still make them though, dude. Ratchet and Clank is up for Game of the Year now, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's part of niche. You know, you find your niche at some point. They're not. That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna be the top dog, but they have their little niche communities that will buy their game. So.
Exactly, and you know what? Yeah. Day when some games do flop, that little core fan base is gonna make that game succeed, which is crazy. Yeah. But I love Ratchet and Clank, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know any. Like, I can't even name like 4 or 5 people I know that play that game. I'm just like, man,
no,
it's crazy.
Like, I look at the game and literally I'm like, hey, I'll probably play this game around Toby, so my son can play it too. Like that, and that's about it. Exactly. Like it's for kids.
Exactly. It's entertaining. Yeah, it's more entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, so another game you actually mentioned, Eddie, was Apex Legends. Did you guys hear about that crazy Apex Legends hack that just happened this weekend, 4th of July weekend?
Yeah. That was. I think the servers were going crazy. Yeah, people were talking about it all on Twitter. Yeah.
For those that don't know, so Apex Legends got hacked. If you're an Apex Legends player, there is no way you didn't see this happen. So Apex Legends got hacked by a hacker that was almost like he was protesting Titanfall having too many hackers. And the whole idea was he hacked the different playlists, so the game modes within Apex, and those game modes basically you couldn't click on any of them, and the one that you were able to click on it basically just said go to, I think it was like free or savetitanfall.com and like donate or help or force the developers to force EA to do something about Titanfall because it has too many hackers and too much of the focus is on Apex Legends. So in turn, to protest there being too many hackers, these guys go and hack Apex Legends, and it was literally unplayable. First, they came up on PC, but it actually started showing up on Xbox and on PlayStation. Like a lot of those games were showing the change in the texts. Like if you were able to actually get into a game and you won the game, or at the end of the game, it would say that it was like, congratulations, go to savetitanfall.com. And at that point, it was just like really crazy to see that the hacker problem is getting so bad in some of these games that people are literally hacking to get the developers' attention. What do you guys think about this? I think it was really interesting that they went to that extent, but at the same time, it's kind of stupid, right? Like,
I mean, it was the old Titanfall people, because wasn't like the whole thing in the beginning with like the charge rifle and all that was from Titanfall?
Yeah, I mean, Apex Legends is in the Titanfall universe. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, it's crazy. That's weird, dude. That's really weird, man.
Yeah. What do you think, Serge?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like hackers have always been a problem, and the companies have never really invested into. I guess Valorant did a little bit, right? A few other games have really invested into it, but I feel like it has to be more of the norm to invest into hackers, into preventing hackers, because it really affects your game and it affects your community. Just like you said, like there's just people getting hacked left and right, games getting hacked. These are people who want to go home and play their games, and you're kind of messing up their free time, or maybe they only have a few hours to get something done, and this is their stress relief, So it's kind of like you're kind of ruining people's days for you trying to get your point out. In this sense, I guess the saving Titanfall is cool, but there's other ways to do it. I don't think this is gonna make them do it. Yeah. They're just gonna find some way to prevent the hacking, and that you just kind of lost out on that.
And I think I mean I could point out too that the biggest hacks that happen on Titanfall are DDoS attacks, which is just like them just constantly pinging it to make all the players like move super slow, or like so they can glitch through stuff, and or even just like aimbotting, right? Like you have that in practically all games now. You have aimbots and just people trying to hack the games just to get that win, to get that win at the end of either a battle royale. Yeah, it's messed up, dude. But this hack for Apex Legends, it wasn't even that. It was just a straight up, I'm gonna hack the whole game and not make it playable for anyone, just so they can feel what we're feeling over at Titanfall. And I don't know, this is definitely going to bring attention to them, because EA and Respawn tweeted out, and they're like, hey, we're looking into this, and we're going to look into the problem with Titanfall as well. So it got their attention. It did what whoever this person or this team of guys did, like whoever it was, it accomplished what they set out to do.
Yeah, but it's like Sergio said, like that's messed up, because like there are some people that they only look forward to gaming, and like and especially their favorite game, and then if it's off, they get those couple hours to like think or whatever the stuff. It could be bad. So like, people gotta think about that when they freaking shut down a whole video game.
It's interesting because we were we had a block party for 4th of July, and I was out there, and some of the like younger guys like 13, 14, they're like, oh yeah, Apex Legends got hacked, we can't play anymore. And it sucks, like they planned it for 4th of July weekend, because they know the kids are at home and all they're doing is playing video games. Like, all right, we're gonna show them that we mean business. And like I mean, if they're talking about it, everyone's talking about it, right? Because that's a big deal. Apex Legends is Like it just now started surpassing Fortnite in ratings of player base and like concurrent players. So it's rising still. It's doing really well. It's not falling off yet. And
Yeah,
to get them at this point on a long weekend when they're supposed to have the most concurrent players at a time, like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
yeah,
as a whole.
Yeah. So for all that, I mean, we see this issue with a bunch of games, but I think EA responding to it was good, just because EA has got a lot of flack lately, right? So especially
as they should.
What was that?
As they should.
As they should. Yeah. They EA. I mean, just 10 years ago, EA was probably the best developer in gaming, right? Like nothing.
Easily.
Everything had to go through be it sports games, be it Star Wars games. But up until recently, Apex Legends is the only thing they really had going for them. Like their other big game was supposed to be Star Wars Squadrons, and that fell off pretty quickly. Like last month, it was for free on PlayStation. Like
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Less than a year that game was out, and it was already free. So
it's like you said though, when you really think about it, EA had freaking every sport. It had Fight Night, it had FIFA, it had fucking NBA Live, it had Madden, and then freaking it just fell apart. Like it's crazy, like the way it came down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball for sure. They were definitely top dog, especially with. I mean, they had what they have. They had Assassin's Creed, they had Sims, they have Star Wars. They had literally they were tapped in every market. So they literally they were on top for a while. But hopefully those games do come back. So maybe some of those EA games will come back because they
probably Fight Night. Damn, man.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody wants Fight Night back, man.
It got so hard with. I'm guessing they had to pay so much money to all these people to get them in the game, so they're being stingy, dude, for sure, or something.
For sure. Same thing with NCAA. Goes back to that. It all comes back to the money at the end of the day. Sadly.
Yeah. Speaking of NCAA, what do you guys think they'll do with that? Like, aren't there new rules now for NCAA and how like players can get paid and stuff too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully they bring back NCAA football.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought it back, but they brought it back without the names, right?
Which is dumb.
Yeah, and that's what they did.
That means just the schools get the money.
So hopefully they bring back they add in the players, and then they definitely market. I saw that. I think 100 Thieves is asking, who are the best college gamers, so that they can bring them on their squad and stuff like that. So so they're probably going to start adding in some players onto their teams.
Well, yeah, now they can get money off signatures, really almost anything. So I mean, why not have your name on a NCAA game and all that? And then even why don't you go to signings for it? You can get money right there off the signings real quick off the game. So why not? I mean, it's good. It's good for the fact that like now finally the athletes do get paid as they should, because these NCAAs make a gang of money. Don't get twisted, way more money than they should, and the product players don't get nothing. So that's why it's messed up. Like that's not good. But now that everything's back and good, hopefully we get NCAA back. Hopefully, even NCAA basketball, bro. That was one of the coolest games.
Yeah, I'd like that for sure.
On defense, coming across half court, and like the whole crowd was cheering, and you had to lock down the defender. It was hard. That game was so dope. But yeah, hopefully we get it back.
Yeah, I think there's definitely we need to see some changes with sports games, because I mean we've talked about Madden to death on this podcast, but like if we're not seeing changes year over year, like someone needs to come up with different ways to play these games, right? Because
why? Because
what was that?
Because there's no competition. There's only one person making each game each time, so it's like, why do I gotta compete with anybody?
Yeah. I mean, you see,
it's.
I was gonna say, you see shooters. You see shooters develop like crazy. Like we wouldn't have had a Fortnite, right, or Apex Legends if everyone was just making the same type of game. But how come we can't see it with sports? I think the biggest like turn away from the traditional sports games was like the street games, right? You had NBA Street and NFL Street and all those, and those were the biggest like, hey, we're gonna introduce this new system of playing these games, and people love them, and I think there needs to be more room for that in gaming for sports games.
Because
go ahead.
Because it was so like over the top, like when you think about NFL Street bouncing off the walls and catching, it was like you could even appeal to children like that, like, and children will grow to like these players and love these players and continue their whole life looking up to these players, and that's where money comes into, and that's where like not a lot of these companies think about the long term effect, you know, like it comes into play a lot.
And I like, if I wanted to go see real basketball, I'm gonna go watch them on the TV, you know.
Yeah.
If I want to see something, I want to play a game. I want to play something that's kind of, you know, sometimes realistic in games is not great. Personally, I feel like it's kind of dull. It just gets boring. If I'm gonna watch real sports, I'm gonna go see what's on TV. You know, so making NFL Street, all that stuff, jumping off the walls, doing all this stuff, it makes it fun, enjoyable, different. It's not just watching basketball on the TV, the same thing. You know, so it's just they gotta just get away from the norm of just sports games being every team, you know, do a whole season, and it just gets kind of boring, man.
Why do y'all think the real reason they stopped it is? Because they were successful games. So I don't know why they stopped them. NFL Street and NBA Street. NBA Street, that freaking soundtrack is so memorable. Like when you certain songs in there, you're like, I fucking heard it in NBA Street. Like everybody said it.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
NBA Street got to like volume 3 and then it stopped, right?
No, I got to home court and then it stopped.
See, I never even heard of home court. Maybe it did fall off.
Well, because they started adding like freaking Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, that's right. Like they went off the deep end there.
A little too. Yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so much room for creativity with any type of sports games, because when you're doing a realistic sports game, you can't really expand too much on your kind of. What are you gonna do? Have them? It was something you could really do because it's all real, right? So you can't make anything up. So so it's, I don't know. There has to be some formula.
Yeah.
People need to think out the box. It's not me. It's not me thinking out the box. It's people making the game. So I mean, like, I can't. Yeah, it's like people need to, you know, I don't know. People are getting more content with I guess, on games.
I don't know. The money will start to go, though. I mean, I know Madden, like, people buy up Madden every year, but most recently they started seeing a decrease in the sales for Madden. So if that continues next year, they got to switch it up.
Yeah.
They got to do something, adjust the gameplay, do something about it. Because, I mean, people are kind of catching on that. Because not only that, there's people out there who will update the rosters for older Madden games and update the skills mods too. So so you can play older Madden games and have the most recent rosters.
Yeah.
Like there's groups of people, like there's Discord servers out there where people are like constantly updating these to make sure that people don't have to buy the new Madden. They can just play the old ones and just download the rosters that these people create. And I mean that's really cool. That's really interesting to see. I think that Madden needs to get away maybe from the yearly game routine and go towards something like create like this long sustainable game that maybe you can pay for, like a battle pass or something, like how you see with shooters where you pay for the season and then you can play through the season and you pay like $5 or $10 instead, but you have the base game that's the same. Like something like that would make sense to me because it's the service that you're paying for rather than a brand new game that you have to like download now just to get the new rosters and maybe like a little bit more graphics. You can see, I don't know, freaking sweat on the quarterback or something. Like they're making these little things that are just gonna, I don't know, they're not big enough changes to be worth $60. And even in the next generation, all those games are $70, right? For PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Those are $70 games now. Like that's not worth it, for at least for me.
No, it's not. But it's because people got to be held accountable, man. It's like, like I understand, like there's these huge fans that fucking love everything and every single thing, and everybody's a huge fan of something, you know. But if we don't hold people accountable, it's like any movie, it's like any musical artist, anything. If you don't hold people accountable for what they do, you don't tell them anything, they're gonna keep doing it and keep taking advantage of what they're doing because all you hear is yes man, yes man, yes man. So like, if like you said, like how the numbers are going down with Madden. Like, thankfully, because people aren't buying it. Like, I didn't have about Madden. I used to buy Madden a lot, but it's just the game has just it just degraded so much. So it's like, not really.
Yeah, no, I think the same thing. Me and Eddie used to play NBA Live, all the time, dude. Like, I loved sports games back then. They were fun. And now I vowed to stop buying sports games. I don't buy any sports games at all because I saw the cookie cutter. They weren't changing anything for years and years and years, and that people don't stop buying them randomly just because it's the new Madden. Like, you're feeding into the problem. So people need to really see: is this really worth my money? Am I really getting something different? And if I'm not, like I said, you're feeding into the problem. So if you don't like the Madden, don't buy it. Exactly. Don't buy it. Like, there's no reason for you to buy it. Like, you can tell them to change things by taking their money. You take people's money, they'll make changes. So
that's the only way. Yeah. Exactly. That's the only way. If not, they're gonna keep going with it. Why? It's like in sports. Like, if you go to the Knicks, well, why is he gonna have to spend all this money on all these star players? James Dolan, when he got sold out every single year. It's like, bro, at some point you gotta stop going to the games and like let people know, like, fucking. Like, come on now. Like, it goes with everything, everything. It's not just singling out games. And, like, of course, we're big fans of these franchises and love these franchises. But that's why we love them, because we want them to do something different. Yeah, you got to hold them accountable. Yep. Yeah.
Like you said, there's ways to play the game without buying the new game. You could just update the rosters. Yeah. If you don't like the new game, don't buy it. Like, don't just buy it just because it's the new one. Blindly. So,
yeah, and I think that goes back to... Yeah, that goes back to what you guys were saying, that we need more competition, right? And I think, especially with Star Wars, I mentioned EA had Star Wars. They lost the licensing to Star Wars. So now there's going to be new developers creating Star Wars games, and there's going to be competition because now people have to go to Lucas Games and say, hey, I'm pitching this game to you based on the Star Wars universe, and then now they can say yes or no instead of only having to work with EA, only one developer. So I think a combination of both, like a lot of sports games falling off, this Apex Legends stuff that just happened, the hack, and then the problem with Titanfall, which they put a lot of money into Titanfall, right? Like, I think all these things coming together is going to culminate in EA having to make changes, right? And having to do something about their games. Because they were on top for so long, and now they're just kind of crumbling. They had to switch it up, and Apex Legends was their saving grace for too long now.
For sure. Yeah. They can't rely on it for too long, because then it's gonna be, like I said, everything's gonna be put on Apex. And no, they're doing well. Like, they're really taking their time and developing their game slowly. It's usually you see people just off the bat just want to put everything into it and go full speed, but Apex is really taking it slow and they're learning as they go along. I feel like they're doing well.
Haven't peak at all. Apex is going to be that game. You know what I mean? And it's like with Star Wars, it's like now that they don't have to deal with a certain corporation, they can look at other developers and even smaller developers that are actually real fans. And like you might even be able to get less money for it, but at the end of the day, the product's going to be better, and you're going to make more money off people actually buying it. But people don't really see charts like that and don't really understand fans. Like, when fans see something great, they're gonna spend more money. It's like a movie. Like, if you see a great movie, what are you gonna do? Go watch it 2-3 times. It's like, that's what happens. That's what marketing is.
Yep. Yeah. So we talked about a few of the things that we think like EA should change. We just kind of thinking about what they'll do next. Another, I guess, developer that we really have our eyes on to see what to do is PlayStation. And I know they're not just a developer, obviously, they do the hardware too. But we didn't see anything from PlayStation at E3, right? They opted out. Whereas we did see a lot of stuff from Nintendo, a lot of stuff from Xbox, mostly focused around, obviously, Bethesda and Halo. But we didn't hear anything from PlayStation. So there's rumors now that we're gonna get a PlayStation State of Play end of July. What do you guys expect to see from PlayStation? At least this month, maybe next month, but we have to hear something soon. Just because we haven't heard anything, and all the hype is kind of swinging in the other direction right now. What do you guys expect PlayStation to do in the next few weeks?
What do I expect them to do? I expect them to just bring out a new title and then work off of just because they have a new title in there. What does PlayStation always do? Will they do that? I don't know. Hopefully they come out with something that will actually reward their fan base. I feel like, something that will help them, I guess. So I don't know. For sure, new games. They probably have something ready, especially if they held out of E3 to not showcase all this stuff and they're trying to hold their own event, then they must have something big. So maybe it is going to be something game changing.
Well, they said they're going to push it more towards the virtual route. No,
could be. Yeah, that'd be a good route to go.
VR.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. I mean they pushed back Grand Theft Auto, but that's all platforms. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not really expecting too much, really.
Yeah. I'm not expecting a lot from PlayStation, honestly. I think we talked about the problems with PS5 before, where they made all these promises that we're going to have all these exclusive games on the next gen, and they still came out on PS4 anyway. So people that got PlayStation 5 are just like, what do we do? Like, why did I even buy this?
Do you think
what was that?
Do you think they planned it like that? Or do you think because of the way that the PlayStations were getting jacked
up? I don't think they planned it that way at all. I think they originally planned for like the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel to be only on the next generation. I think they planned for Spider-Man to only be on the next generation. But they saw the dollar signs, right? They saw that not that many people switched over to PS5. I mean, they were sold out everywhere anyway. But even then, they saw that they were going to make money if they ported them back to the PlayStation 4 as well. And they did. And I mean, they got a grip of money. But I think they should have doubled down and be like, nah, we're sticking to the PS5. If you want to play these games, you need to get the next gen. But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at the PlayStation Plus free games for every month, you'll actually notice that they'll come out with a free game when like the sequel or the next game is gonna come out in like the few weeks or a few months. So just to kind of build hype for it, right? So I mean, this month we got like the WWE games, like the Battleground game, which I actually think is pretty fun. That one's pretty funny. It's like cartoony and it's like a good like couch game just to play with your friends and just be dumb. But they also came out with Call of Duty 3 Black Ops for free again on PlayStation. So I think they're probably going to have those developers on. So they're probably going to have 2K as part of their state of play. They're probably going to have maybe a new Call of Duty or something announced at their state of play, because that just makes sense to me, right? Like as far as PlayStation developers itself, and I think a few weeks ago or a few months ago, you mentioned Ratchet and Clank. It was for free on PlayStation Plus. So I think they're going to announce those games as state of play, probably the sequels to them.
No one's because I'm really trying to think what like you said, it comes back to exclusive titles. Like what exclusive title do they really have that's gonna come out?
And I don't know. We talked about it before, but a couple of their games in their advertisements, they removed the part that said on PlayStation only, right? So now people are like, oh dang, it's gonna come out on other stuff, but PlayStation actually purchased a developer that does PC games, and I forgot the name of the developer, but with that, they're gonna really focus on, I think, getting their PlayStation games up and then getting their PlayStation games on PC, because we know Xbox does that already, right? Xbox and anything that comes out on Xbox, pretty much you have on PC already, right? Even with Game Pass, you can have the Game Pass that is for both. I think PlayStation is gonna start doing that. I think they're gonna. I mean, they already have this partnership with Discord, which is big on PC. I think the next natural step for them is, all right, we're gonna do the same thing that Xbox is doing and get our games on PC as well. And then at that point, why even have a console? You just have the PC for all the games.
Yeah.
But
I mean, do you guys think, like, would you, if you were running like one of these big Xboxes, PlayStations, and all that, you saw the way GameStop's going, Did you try to like hook up with them and try to bring like the real fucking when the old times back again when you used to show up to places for tournaments and have these big events and have people there like actually show up, not just through a screen?
Yeah, I think
Like
we
what?
already saw some of that happening too, though. Like during the E3, they also had Summerfest, and they're slowly bringing about like the having all these tournaments in person again. Especially like LAN tournaments. I think there was a couple new LAN tournaments that were announced. So yeah,
That's
I
dope.
think there's something to that, right? Even though it's a digital game, like you have games like League of Legends, like dude, that has to be played in an arena, at least at the top professional level. Like you have to play that with an
Yeah.
audience, because
The fans going crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
come on,
yeah,
man.
it creates an ambience that you just can't get any. You can't get that through a Twitch stream, like, and I love the Twitch rivals stuff that they do, and like I'm a big Teamfight Tactics player, and I really like that they did the rivals tournament, but compare that to like battle like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, which had an audience, and it is not the same. Like having an audience and having them react to you, like getting that next level character, or like getting like that last minute shot on a person and killing them, like that's
Yeah.
there's nothing like that in both sports and esports.
Yep.
So I think we're slowly gonna start seeing that come back, and I think
You see heartbreak in those
yeah.
games. You see people like freaking whole face
Oh
drop,
yeah.
their whole.
I
Crazy.
think with GameStop, I mean that'd be really good for them to try and do, especially with PlayStation being again a hardware company. They sell hardware, like it's not just digital. Like they need to sell PS5s, and doing a tournament like that, if they do a partnership with GameStop, it would make sense to me. Yeah, I think
That'd
that'd
be
be
so
really smart.
dope. That'd be so cool because like you said, it's the whole having fans there and everything, and you could even bring older people back. Like watch, you could have like Star Fox fucking tournament, like fucking old school games, like N64 games and all that. Because you have the old stuff anyway. Just put it there at GameStop. You could bring older heads in because I feel like gaming, like as much as it appeals to like younger fans, it don't really appeal to the older people as much. It brings back old IPs a lot, but I feel like it should do more with those old IPs. Like they can make so much more money off like bring back GoldenEye. Like how sick would that be? Like bringing back GoldenEye, all the old school players coming back and playing the game like that. Like it would bring back so many people. They would show their kids. It would lead to a lot of stuff. But
Yeah, I mean it would definitely bring back big streamers. Like you would see someone like Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx. You would see all them playing GoldenEye if they came back. Like no doubt about it, because
Yeah.
that's what they played growing up, right? Like these
Yeah.
big streamers, they're in their 20s, they're in their late 20s. Some of them are even in their 30s. If you're talking about like um Doctor Disrespect and some others, like they played these games. They played those games when they were younger. Like you would definitely see them playing those. And if you do a tournament like that, like you could easily, and you've seen it done. Like I've seen it with Overwatch League, right? Like you have a tournament in person with an audience, and for the people that can't make it, you just put it on YouTube stream, and those that
Yeah.
can't make it will watch it. It's the same with sports, right? If you can't be at a game, you watch it on TV, and it's easy, like getting people like that, and it'll bring hype for a game. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Even games like Conker's Bad Fur
Conker's
Day,
Bad
like,
Fur Day.
if you
Dude,
brought shit
Live
like
and
that,
Reloaded, where you can play,
yeah,
you can play against
fucking
people.
squirrels.
You were like one team or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was so fun.
Dude, you gotta storm the beach. Like,
Yeah.
man, it'd be so dope. Like seeing shit like that in person. Like me and Sergio when we went to the Gears of War tournament in person, like that was like an event.
Different
Like
yeah.
it was fun. Like you gotta bring stuff like that back, bro.
Yeah.
As big as gaming is, it could be even bigger.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, with gaming being generational, right? It's going to be generational now from going forward. People are passing this down to their kids. It's going to only grow bigger. It's going to probably be bigger than sports, if not right up there with sports, at some point, because our kids, their kids, everyone's going to be gamers from now on. It feels like that's what it feels like, at least. So maybe GameStop opens up some kind of arena centers. Maybe they're like,
That'd be cool.
They create arenas around the US or the world where they have like tournaments, or they can host tournaments. There's different routes I guess you can go.
Yeah, that'd be so dope.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because, like, for me personally, like, I think a lot of people just assume that the next consoles is the only way to go. Like, you can't play older consoles, and I think that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, my 2-year-old, I have a Nintendo DS, and we just handed it to him and put Kirby in, and this dude's playing Kirby like nothing, and he's having fun with it. It's like, I don't have to put a PlayStation controller in his hand and be like, you're forced to play these new games. Like, we have an old Super Nintendo too that we can play. Like, you don't have to force them to play the Switch, and like, especially if you have kids or like nieces or nephews, like, you can show them the older games and they're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh, that's bad quality or anything. Like, it's different because it's a game. Right? It doesn't have to be the newest and the great. It's not like showing someone an old movie. Sometimes old movies, it won't get their attention the same way because the graphics are iffy. Like, they're gonna be entertained by the gameplay itself, right?
There's some, like you said, like, and then some games you're just not gonna beat.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, as far as like fucking, like how me and Sergio talk about Gears. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's gonna probably beat that to us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, so, like, it's just, why don't you show your kids all this stuff? It's like in Super Mario, I feel like they make something new for him every 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like.
Yeah. So definitely, I guess those are just some notes. Yeah. So some notes for PlayStation there. So next up, I actually wanted to talk about some streaming news lately. So for FaZe Clan, they've had a really rough month this month. So FaZe Clan, especially around the crypto. So if you guys didn't hear, FaZe Clan has had a real big issue with the crypto scam that came recently.
We're having issues with they were selling off a certain amount, but not everything. But they got suspended, and then I think there were some other influencers like Rice Gum, Summer Rae, a bunch of these other influencers that are promoting stuff. They just basically selling off their shares as soon as they promote it, and people just losing their money. So it's pretty fucked up. I don't know. I mean, you're going to be promoting something that you're not going to be really holding on to. He's probably going to get some. I don't know if he's going to get prison time. He's going to get taxed. He's going to get fined. They're probably going to get fined by someone for sure. The SEC, the IRS. They're going to get pretty fucked. So
at the end of the day, it comes down to influence, right? It's like, how much influence you have, and then especially a product you're not even really supporting. It's like, you're gonna get stuff for that. But I mean, you could argue that at the end of the day, it's not his fault whether you put your money in or not, because that's not him. It's not his.
That's
money.
true. Yeah.
But like he's gonna get stuff. But like you said, that is messed up that he didn't like go about what he was really talking about. And like, you gotta practice what you preach, man. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens with all that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. I think just the fact that they're taking advantage of it, and they shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, right? Like, being part of FaZe Clan, you already have like, it's like, I like to refer to sports as like LeBron James. Like, obviously he's a spokesperson for like Sprite and stuff. You're not gonna see this dude just randomly on Twitter saying, "Hey, drink 7-Up," right? Because it's gonna look bad for his brand. And and as a member of FaZe, you need to know that you're part of the brand, right? Like, and he said, "Oh, I should have checked with FaZe." And like, yeah, you should have checked with FaZe, because what if they already have like an agreement with another cryptocurrency, right? Like, not just the fact that you were pumping and dumping and that's illegal, like crazy illegal, just the fact that you're promoting something that's out of your contract. I think that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's stupid, and it just shows these people are not aware of where they stand. They're kind of lost in their fame, and they're just kind of just think that they're invincible. Don't think about how are you not looking into the possibility of this being illegal? Like you said, like, how do you not know that as a person that has all the resources available around you? How do you not know that? It just kind of it's kind of keeps me kind of speechless as to how people still do that.
Yeah.
It's sad, bro. Especially when you're influencing a lot of people that like just really look up to you, you know, and really like look at you as more than just a regular person. Like you're gonna have an influence on them. Whatever, they're gonna go by your word, and whatever you say, you gotta abide to at the end of the day. So it sucks.
Yeah, I think, I mean, overall, just that with FaZe is an issue, obviously. But then you have, because I think it was one that was, like, kicked out, right? And 3 were suspended. Is that what happened?
Yeah, K was kicked out, and then his brother Jarvis, Tico, and Nikon were like suspended because they didn't pump and dump all of their shares. They only dumped some of them, and K literally would do every single one that he promoted, pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump, and they were stupid enough not to know that their wallets are literally viewable by anybody around the world. So as long as someone finds out what their wallet ID number is, they're able to see their transactions. So then they are able to see all their transactions and when they pumped and dumped, when they bought, when they sold, etc. You know, it's stupidity, I guess, all around. Doesn't really make any sense. They obviously didn't think about anything besides making the money.
Yeah, like certain people shouldn't even be able to talk about stocks, bro.
I know.
Like the influence some of these guys have on just regular people, it's messed up. Like for real, they look at them like heroes. They're gonna go buy anything they say.
Yeah.
So
I think part of the problem here also is like the crypto itself was, what was it called? It was like Save the Kids or something.
Save the Kids. Yeah, it was supposed to be a charity.
Yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, for each crypto you buy, part of it's gonna go to charity and help children. And it could be that some of these dudes thought it was true. It could be like maybe like 2 of them thought it was like, oh okay, yeah, we'll support this. Like, hey, go buy this cryptocurrency. We've already purchased this much. And then as soon as it comes out and it starts dipping, they kind of got scared, like, oh, I'm gonna sell. And like that could have been what happened. But even then, it's like, yeah, you gotta take accountability for that, right? Because it's first of all, you're telling people to donate or not donate to do this because of charity, and then it turns out to be the exact opposite. And all these people that bought this Bitcoin are now out hundreds of dollars. You literally did the exact opposite of what you were telling them, right?
Yeah.
Like you're donating to charity, you're helping people. Oh, actually, you just lost all your money, so you're hurting more people in the long run.
Yeah, it's pretty shameful.
Yeah.
That's
messed up. But I don't know. I don't know how you come back from something like that. I think FaZe did the right thing in saying, hey, we don't promote any of this.
Oh, yeah.
We're kicking them out of our groups, and then whatever legal stuff happens to them, it's on them. It's not on FaZe.
Clean your hands from that stuff. Hell
yeah.
Because FaZe does not want to be part of that at all, especially such a big organization like them. Like they're on the cusp of like becoming one of the biggest esports groups ever, and they're gonna keep going for it, right? They're in every major professional tournament, so they need to stick to their guns and act professionally, right? They can't just give them a pass because they have big following. Like that's not gonna work. So so I think they did the right thing in kind of putting their foot down here and being like, all right, we're not letting this happen again. We've told them what will happen if they do something like this again. So
I think that's the problem, is that FaZe has always been viewed, the biggest gaming organizations in the past have been FaZe and Optic. FaZe and Optic are the biggest rivals. They're the biggest figures in probably obviously gaming organizations, because they were just the start of everything, right? They're the biggest organizations, and FaZe was always viewed as a unprofessional, kids running it, et cetera, et cetera. Optic was obviously run by Hector, as I mentioned before, Hector Rodriguez, and 100 Thieves came from Optic because Nadeshot was on Optic. So 100 Thieves is basically like was born because of Optic. So FaZe has always been in that issue of being unprofessional. So the fact that they're taking the initiative to let them go and understand that FaZe is bigger than just one name and one person, in the organization. It is a brand. It is an organization as a whole. So they did the right thing of kicking them out, just kind of moving forward from this, and you dig your own hole. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On the topic of unethical things that these big influencers do, I know that a lot of people have been looking at streams lately of gamblers, right? So people gambling on stream, and I don't know. I think there are some people from FaZe that do gambling streams, like straight up. And
I think Trainwreck in FaZe.
Trainwreck, is he?
Yeah,
he could be. I don't know.
Did he join? I think he might have joined FaZe recently. I'm not sure if he did.
But what you do see a lot, regardless of who the big streamer is, like I've seen XQC do this, is in between games while they're waiting, they'll just jump over onto like a slot machine and just play the slots with real money. And I think it's crazy because I was literally watching this stream, and this dude has like $300,000 in on a slot machine, and he's just going through and he's betting like $800 to $900 per roll. And I mean, betting that much money per roll is insane on its own, but you got this huge following, like thousands of people watching, and watching you literally gamble that much money away. Obviously, they kind of know what they're doing, but gambling is gambling. And even on Twitch, like I think they're kind of, there's a fine line there, because if you look up like different game genres, like different games, you have Overwatch, you have Fortnite and all that, but there's a section specifically for slots, and you see people, like, there's been problems where you've seen people, they're like, just bet all their life savings away. And personally, I think that's kind of a problem, that like there's these huge groups of people behind them just egging them on to give away all their money. And I don't know, I feel like that should kind of go into the realm of being unethical, but the other way, right?
Definitely.
Like, it's not influencers influencing people to use their money, it's the other way around. It's like a chat of thousands of people be like, oh, keep going, keep rolling, like you got this, and you just see them gamble hundreds of thousands of dollars away.
I mean, that's easy to say when it's not your money.
Exactly.
That's so easy to say that.
Yeah, it's a problem, I think, when they get sponsored. When they get sponsored to play and they're playing it and they're still making their money, I think that's probably an issue, because you're getting sponsored to basically bet, and then people are, like you said, more inclined to go bet their own money. It's pretty shady. But then again, who are we to tell them that they can't do? And if it's not against terms of service, who are we to tell them, I guess, that they can't really do that? Because they're not really, I guess, they're not their parents. Their parents should be involved, should be taken care of. They shouldn't be letting them watch this. They should be, obviously watching out for them. They're not their parents. They're not there to parent their kids. So while they're influencers, it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to kind of, I guess, I could see both sides, I guess, in this.
Yeah.
It being unethical, because they're using their money. If they're using sponsored, then that's a little bit different, I guess. But there's you can, I guess, go both ways on this, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think with gambling though, it's so obviously you can get addicted to gambling, and you get like this chemical imbalance, and you get fed this chemical, like the more you win, and you're like, oh, this next roll it's gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I feel like people watching these streamers might actually get that same like adrenaline rush from watching another streamer go through that.
Oh no,
right?
But do you think that the same is for a Pokemon pack?
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna open this Pokemon pack.
Yeah.
It's gambling. It's gambling. It really is gambling.
Oh my gosh! When I saw that happening, I was like, no way.
Dude, someone thinks I'm gonna go purchase a box that's gonna give me $100,000 Charizard. You're gonna spend 50, whatever. I don't know how much money it is, but you're gonna spend that money and you're not gonna get it, and you're gonna be upset because that person got it, and it's kind of the same influence. So it's kind of hard. It's like, I don't know, man. Is that unethical? People aren't going to say that Pokemon packs on stream is unethical, but it kind of is. It's kind of goes in the same realm of that little area, gray area, I guess.
I think you kind of have to, like, there is a fine line though when it comes to gambling. Like, I think when people are playing like Texas Hold'em, when they're playing poker, I think that's okay because there's strategy behind it. And you'll see people do that, right? Like on Twitch, and they'll set up games where you can see, oh, okay, I think they have this because of this reason, and there's a strategy behind it. I mean, hell, you see it on ESPN too, like actual poker
That's true.
tournaments. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna see someone playing slots on ESPN, and I think
Mhm.
Push the button.
I think it really depends on
Yeah.
what type of gambling you're doing, right?
That's true.
Like even within games themselves, there's a like especially strategy games, there's a gambling part to it. Like if you're playing Hearthstone Battlegrounds or if you're playing like Teamfight Tactics, like you get money and you get interest as you're playing, not real money, right? Just in-game money and in your
Yeah.
match.
Right on.
And if you get to a certain point, you just gamble it all and you just keep rolling until
Yes.
you hit that like specific like card or that specific monster that you're looking for, and people get excited like, oh dang, he hit it, like he actually got this like super big monster and he's gonna like roll over the entire thing, or he doesn't hit it and he loses last place in the match. I think there's a
Yeah.
gambling aspect to those games as well that I think there's a lot of gray area there because it's similar to slots. You keep rolling
Loot
until
boxes.
you hit what you're looking for.
That's what it comes down to. It's all chance.
Yeah.
Loot boxes, yeah.
And yeah,
Same
and
thing.
loot boxes too. Like the thing that started it all was FIFA, right? FIFA loot boxes and people just going crazy, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people are gonna watch, like especially YouTube videos. Like how many people go and just watch YouTube videos of people?
Oh, it's fun to
yeah,
watch. Yeah.
just spend thousands of dollars to not get anything. Like I think those are like the crazy ones that they have like millions of views because they spent like I'm gonna spend $10,000 today on loot boxes and they don't get anything. But I
Yeah,
mean,
and
they
I
could
guess
pay
in
back
this sense,
for it in both
yeah.
views and like comments and sponsors and later on, obviously. But I think it gives a false impression to people that have smaller streams, like, oh, I can do this slot stream and spend $500 and I'll start getting viewers, and they might not get that. They
Yeah.
I
might
don't
not
like
get it
that.
back.
You gotta, and especially if like some like they're talking the whole time, they're gambling and stuff. That comes like the voice effect comes into effect because it's like with podcasting, like you gotta talk, you gotta know how to talk and be entertaining and different. It comes down to a lot of stuff, man. So like people like you said, they see it and they think it's gonna come easy to them, and they'll spend money and they'll keep trying, and sometimes it's not gonna work for them.
Yeah. I think Twitch right now needs to kind of make up their mind on what gaming is and what it isn't. Because they advertise themselves as a gaming stream service still.
Yeah.
But you start seeing all these streamers that are doing ASMR, literally just whispering into their microphone and touching it like weirdos. Or you get the hot tub, right? The hot tub streams with literally just a girl in her bikini reading her comments, and you got thousands of people watching. Like, I think Twitch is like, if they slowly just keep allowing these things, it's gonna become something that they didn't intend to do in the first place.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
Like what happens with a lot of apps.
Twitch has a immense amount of history. Like, I mean, insane amount of history with unethical behavior.
Wow.
And I've always said that I don't like Twitch. I like Twitch. I watch it because everyone's on there, but I don't like Twitch. Twitch as a company, they're very unethical. They never do the right thing. They only do what they have to. If they're pushed in a corner, then they're going to do something. But unless they're pushed into a corner, no one's competing with them. They don't have to do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone needs to come out and put them, give them a wake-up call and understand that they have the ability to do something great in creating a gaming platform that people can really enjoy and not have to deal with all the bullshit that always comes out of their decisions.
Yeah.
Even if if it's your favorite streamer, if it's someone's favorite streamer and they do something wrong, they deserve to get banned. They deserve to get banned. That's not on them. They need to stick to their guns and take out, even if it's money, just do the right thing. But I don't know if they will. They probably never will.
At the end of the day, because they can't be held accountable because they don't have a real competition. Once you get a real competition in there, then you're gonna get really held accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's what we hope Mixer was. That's why a lot of people went to Mixer. Yeah. That's why Ninja went to Mixer. Ninja really brought out. That's what I'm saying. Ninja really, and then they did that whole thing with trying to make fun of Ninja for going to Mixer by putting all that stuff on his channel, and then they allowed like porn to be on his channel.
They're smart.
Like, dude, it's just
I just think Twitch is at a point now where they're getting more competition from YouTube gaming, and I've seen a lot of Twitch people move over to YouTube, not the other way around. And I think what Twitch needs to do is kind of just decide, what are we going to be? Are we going to be for gamers, or are we just going to be a live streaming platform and allow everything that's not mature content? And that's it.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
I was hearing that someone said they should just have filters and like, hey, my stream is only for 18 and up. Even if obviously people are going to try to get around it. Dude. People can go watch porn or go watch whatever and click the button. That's their fault. You know, if they go out searching for it, that's the difference. But if you're putting it out there for them to be able to see it without any like warning of what they're watching, then that's a problem. So if you're going to promote that, that's fine. Do it on your but have like, you know, some kind of way that someone has to go out there and search for it, rather than a kid just going onto it and clicking that, hey, what is this? You know, recommended, and then he's going to click it, and it's something that, you know, they shouldn't see. So there has to be some kind of filter there. Maybe add some 18 and up, you know, even if it's not showing anything specifically, you know, naked or something, you know, maybe if it's the hot tub stream, if they want to allow that shit, go ahead, but just put it like on something that you have to actually, your account has to be above 18, et cetera, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So
if they get around that, it's on them, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. It's on them.
I think that's the direction they want to go. They want to be a live streaming platform. Obviously, they started with gaming, but they're going in that direction. But
that's fine.
It's fine to do, but I think they just need to just go all in and just say it, because they just advertise themselves to gamers over and over again.
Can't be on the ropes and just just
be like Jack in the Box with the munchies.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, they don't know what to do sometimes though. Jack in the Box. So we had a friend that actually worked for them, and she said that the marketing team was always back and forth on who do we market to, because they have all these like healthy options too. So hey, we're gonna market to healthy people, and then next month, no, we're gonna market to stoners, and then they just keep going back and forth. But no, like they went all in on the Munchie Meal stuff, and it worked for them. But you just gotta pick though. You can't
like fuck it.
Yeah. You just gotta pick.
Not everything has to be family friendly, dude. Not everything has to be family friendly.
Exactly. As long as you appeal, because people are gonna look for what they want to appeal to, and people are gonna appeal what they want. You know, so I mean, like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
But that's fine. But totally off topic, because I see my fucking Tekken game right here. I saw you guys talk about Tekken last week. Man, fucking, I like Kazuya on Super Smash Bros. But man, I need a new Tekken, man. I need a new. What's your guys' favorite?
I don't know.
What's our what?
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite fighters?
Smash Brothers. Easy.
I like the arcade Street Fighters.
Street Fighters?
Yeah, like at the arcade, dude.
For real?
I do. What? Or Marvel vs. Capcom. Actually, Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah.
Damn. See, okay. Fuck, probably that one. Either that one or, but I love Tekken, bro. So it's either that one or Tekken.
Yeah, sure. A close second for me is Street Fighter. I did a couple Street Fighter tournaments.
Street Fighter's awesome.
Those are awesome.
And you said Smash Bros? Damn, but that one's up there for
Smash
me
Bros.
too.
Always.
A lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, just random question. But yeah. Continue.
No, that's fine. On the topic of streamers, I did want to talk about Nick Merckx real quick. So Nick Merckx officially quit Warzone Battle Royale. So just to clarify, he does still play like Call of Duty games, and he just plays the different game modes now. But he quit Warzone because of, one, hackers, which we talked about earlier, like just hackers in the games are just messing up the game for everyone. But also because of the contents. So even in their latest like new map that they did, it was just kind of a skin difference. Like it wasn't really a new map that they created. And they're talking about they're coming out with a new World War II map maybe in the future for Warzone. But even then, like Nick Merckx being probably one of, if not the biggest Warzone streamer leaving, that's a problem, right? Like I think that's a problem for Warzone, and it might open their eyes to it, but who knows? It might not.
Sure.
What do you guys think about Nick Merckx leaving?
Yeah, good for him. Good for him, because I don't think any streamer should be tied for one game. Yeah. And if you're not enjoying the game, don't play it. Like they don't. Like we said earlier, if there's no reason why you should be playing it just because it's the game that gets you the most views, or if people want to kind of oppose the game, stop playing it, stop buying it, stop. That's why I kind of stopped playing Warzone, because it's the same thing. There's no new content. It's the same thing. There's no competitive. There's no rank system. There's so many things that they can add in. Apex rank system. The Apex rank system is the reason I love Apex. Apex rank system is amazing, and it's something that Warzone probably needs. There's a lot of things that Warzone needs to do, and if people stop playing it, maybe they will make changes. Who knows if they will? Call of Duty's kind of always on the fence on things because they're Call of Duty, so you can do whatever the hell they want. So
a lot of people, you mentioning the rank system, a lot of people had talked about Warzone, that they need to create a rank system where you have like bronze, silver, gold, like platinum, diamond, like they do in other games.
Something simple.
Because right now all they have is the skill-based matchmaking, and obviously that's pissing people off. They don't like it. But
at the end of the day, can you do that with hackers? Because the hackers are just.
Hackers are on every game though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can't do anything about hackers unless you're really gonna dive into like preventing it where it's to install something on your computer, PC, Xbox, and it's really hard to stop.
There's less hackers on consoles. That's for sure. Because you have to try really hard to get hackers on a console, because you still need a computer on the side and update the software and like put in that like aim software or the wall hack, whatever you're doing.
Sounds like you did this before. No.
Yeah. So all that it's harder to do on console, but it still happens once in a while. But even with that, I mean, Nick Merckx plays on PC. He's a controller player, but he'll play on PC because that's where most of the streamers that he streams with are playing. He likes to be able to compete at that level, because it is harder to compete against PC players. So that's why he plays on PC. But then he gets that problem with both hackers and with stream snipers, right? Like stream snipers is a whole nother level of idiocy that streamers need to work with. And dude, it's insane that they have to deal with people trying to get into their games and like following their stream to figure out where they are and just kill them. So I mean, all streamers get it, and they go through lengths to try and not have that happen. But even then, he still gets his stream snipers. But with these other game modes, one, they get hacked less, because people are gonna hack battle royales because they want to be the one winner in this huge thing. Whereas in the other game modes, it's just, why are you gonna hack a game just to be the winning team, right? Is one team versus another team, and that's it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
And two, it doesn't have skill-based matchmaking. Like the skill-based matchmaking in the other game modes of Call of Duty don't work the same as the one in Warzone. And you're just put in a game with like similar skilled players, but there are ranking systems in those modes, and it just makes more sense. And I think that's a big deal, because when you see like Apex Legends ranking system, they have some skill-based matchmaking when it comes to their like free play, but when you do the competitive play, it works like that, right? You have your badges that you move up, and it makes sense to me that they do it that way. But
people are competing. I mean, not as many people like competing, but whoever likes to compete, they like competing. Because remember when Fortnite was cracking and people were paying people to teach their kids because they were getting their ass worked too much. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't blame Nick Merckx for leaving Warzone. I think Warzone is one of those games that it's slowly falling off again.
It's been falling off, bro.
But
I haven't played.
Kind of on the topic of Warzone, I guess I kind of want to talk about, instead of doing our recommendations for the end here, I just want to talk about shooters in general. Like, what shooters do you guys think are gonna be like the big like head honcho, like on top? What shooters are gonna be on top? Because I mean, obviously, streamers like Nick Merckx don't think it's gonna be Warzone. So what do you guys think? Like, what's your pick for best shooter, either to be playing right now or in the near future?
Go ahead, Sage. You go.
Apex for sure. Apex, I think, is right now. It's on a good trajectory, so for sure. So I think Apex is going to take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Apex is just, like I said, it hasn't hit its peak, bro. Like, a gang of people from Fortnite still haven't converted yet. They will. Like, a lot of people will convert, and it's just like, But random, going back to Gears. If Gears did have a freaking like a drop system and like a Warzone type, how sick would that be if there was like a horde mode too, and you had to worry about that? Like Gears, like come on, man, get it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, back to Apex. Yeah, the Apex, I feel like it still has room to grow because the different attributes all the players have. You can add different players with so many different cool things and stuff. So like that's what kind of set it off. Like you can get some guy with that sets poison bombs, or so you get a girl that transports and teleports, or like lifeline that's a medic. And that's why like I feel like it could keep growing. With Fortnite, it was more like you just pick a skin. It wasn't like anything special.
Building was the only separator on that game.
Yeah, that's why Apex has a lot of room to grow. So I agree with Sergio.
Yeah. So I actually think I know we haven't talked about this game a lot, and it just came out at E3, but I think Battlefield 2042 is gonna take the top spot.
Oh, that one.
Good,
yeah. Because so 2042 obviously is gonna be a Battlefield that's going along the lines of like Advanced Warfare or Modern Warfare games, the Call of Duty games. But not only that, I think they see what's been done with Warzone, and I think Battlefield, I mean, it's always been the competition, right? Call of Duty and Battlefield. It's always been those two that go back and forth.
Well, that was the first one where it was really big team based. It wasn't Call of Duty. It was Battlefield.
So I actually think Battlefield is probably going to come out and have an awesome story as it always does. But I think they're also going to come out with really extensive multiplayer, and I'm predicting that they're going to come out with a Battle Royale. Because it doesn't make sense for me that they not come out with a Battle Royale when they come out with that game.
They can't lose.
Like, I think they already have it built into their infrastructure that when we come out with this game, it's going to have a Battle Royale with it. And it's going to build a player base, and we're going to work on it from there. And I think that's going to take the shooters for a while. Because, I mean, the last Battlefield game I played was Battlefield 1, which is the one that was like in the past, and I thought it had really cool story, had really good gameplay, and combining that and the like realistic feel of it with the advanced guns and like futuristic weapons and throwing that into a battle royale is gonna make sense to me, and I think it's gonna do really good, honestly. Like, and Battlefield is most likely gonna come out on PC also, and I think it's gonna take the world by storm. I made the prediction when Call of Duty came out that they were going to come out with a Battle Royale. And that was back when... What was the Battle Royale before Warzone that they had? Like Blackout. Yeah. I was like, oh, yo, Blackout was really good. I'm like, I think they're going to improve on this. They came out with Warzone. Yeah. I think Battle Royales are still the way to go right now with shooters. So it's either going to be that... Well, I think it's going to be Battlefield. That is going to be like the future of shooters right now. But if Halo...
Well, you know what helps Battlefield?
What's that?
So, I was saying, what helps Battlefield a lot too is like, and what helps Halo a lot is its vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
You can fly, you can go on the ground, and that's what sets it off a lot. So it does have a great...
And you saw, I mean, both of you picked Apex Legends, which I think is a really good game, and they've included that too, right? They included the vehicles. They see the importance of having that quick movement in the game. But... I mean, if Halo comes out with a Battle Royale and somehow makes that work, that would be really cool. I don't know how they would do it, just because Halo, it just lays itself more towards the team-based like type of gaming, or even like doing like King of the Hill and stuff like that. But if you do a Battle Royale with Halo, I'd be interested in seeing how they do it, because they have the vehicles, they have all this stuff. I just want to see how their like shields would work, how the guns would work at like long distances. Like, obviously you have two sets of snipers and maybe some rifles, but I think they might have to add new weapons.
It's a Battle Royale.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Or they,
huh?
They could also make something like Warzone. You know how Warzone is not, it's Call of Duty, but it's not. It's its own game. And if it doesn't work out, they botch it and they just throw it away.
I think with Halo, instead of having like a bunch of different Spartans or Master Chiefs running around, they can do it really well if they have ODSTs running around.
Yeah,
that's what I said too. That'd be sick. That's so funny you said that. I just said that to somebody last week. That'd be so
because that would make Halo ODST was one of my favorites. And just because they switched it up.
Yeah.
So I think if they do go battle royale, they would have to go with like Halo ODST battle royale type of game, and I think that would actually work just because it's not the like overpowered Master Chief and like 99 other Master Chiefs all fighting each other, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone play as Master Chief though, so that's like the big thing.
Maybe there's like a pickup where you can pick up like the Master Chief shield or armor or some kind of like the Juggernaut in Warzone.
Yeah,
I'd be sick. And you can pick up like the Brute Shield too or something like that. That'd
be cool. That'd be but definitely for Halo, if you guys haven't been paying attention, Halo is actually gonna go, or Halo Infinite multiplayer is gonna go into beta really soon. You have to be signed up, subscribe to Halo's newsletter and all that to be able to play it in beta. So go ahead and do that. I'll throw the link in the comments just for anyone that's interested. But yeah, definitely. If you want to try out the Halo beta, it's gonna be available really soon. So you just have to be a member and sign up. And it's gonna be on both PC and Xbox, the beta testing. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it from my end. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on?
No,
I think we're good.
That was it.
Yeah, so definitely get out there, play those games. Apex Legends, obviously. Hopefully they get up soon. Last I checked this morning, they weren't up yet. So, but I mean, that's a game that's really important for a lot of gamers right now, a lot of streamers. So hopefully they get up and running and a lot of people can play it again. But yeah, just want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, we're Quickscope Podcast, brought to you by Higher Passion. Check out all our other podcasts. Eddie, do you want to sign them off? Let them know what other podcasts to listen to?
Yeah, man, we got a gang of different ones, bro, for everybody. So we got the Sports Dots podcast, we got Rap Beats and Melodies, we got Positively Central that be talking about relationships and shit. And we got the Faded Theory. That was just funny, man. Honestly, we be talking about Rick and Morty conspiracies and all that type of shit. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, man, we got a gang of different podcasts. But I want to say y'all keep killing it, man, because you two are doing great. I be getting calls from people that I don't even know fucking game that be watching y'all shit. So, it's pretty cool, man. So keep doing what y'all doing.
For sure.
Yeah, man, it was fun.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming by.
It's been fun.
And again, as always, go out there, squad up, and GG's.
Yep.